I hope everybody knows that the outrage over Donald Trump is mostly manufactured because they're not outraged at the stuff they should be outraged at. And they like to be outraged at his tweets and what have you. And the fact is that Donald Trump couldn't be doing the stuff he's doing if the precedent wasn't already set. By who? By decades of neoliberal administrations, Democrat and Republican. So, for instance, there's a story, and the story is that weapons worth $8 billion are headed to the Middle East over Congress's objections. Well, let's just get to that story real fast. So here it is. It's in Politico. Weapons worth $8 billion are headed to the Middle East over Congress's objections. But that had to be a nightmare for that editor who does the headlines to figure out, okay, Congress has two S's and we have to do a possession apostrophe with the, is it, So weapons worth $8 billion headed to Middle East over Congress's objection. So the Trump administration on Friday notified Congress it plans to sell $8.1 billion worth of weapons to Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and the United Arab Emirates without congressional approval, a move that has incensed members from both parties who have sought to cut off military aid for Saudi-led coalition fighting Iranian-backed rebels in Yemen. The decision covers 22 pending transfers of munitions, aircraft parts, and other supplies. And you ready for this? What is it for? To, quote, deter Iranian aggression. Iranian aggression. Well, I don't know. We have about 1,000 military bases surrounding their country. You tell me who's being aggressive. We invaded the country next to them, turned it into a failed state, killed hundreds of thousands of people on a lie, ordered torture to cover it up. Then we did it to another country right next door to them called Libya. We keep doing it over there, and then we're doing it in Syria. But it's the Iranian aggression we have to worry about, not the Saudi-led Wahhabism that they're exporting all around the Middle East. So they're going to deter these sales are to deter Iranian aggression and build partner self-defense capacity, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said in a statement. So I know a lot of people voted for Trump because he said he was going to be an anti-interventionist and he was going to stand up to Saudi Arabia and get the hell out of the Middle East. And now he's just showing you that he's just like all the rest. So how you feel when you hear this story as a Trump voter, that's what a Trump feels like. And that's what I felt like after I voted for Barack Obama. So we have that in common. We have that feeling. We thought we voted for one thing and we got another. And that's exactly what Trump is. You thought you voted for a guy who was a straight talker who wanted to get us out of the Middle East. He's a big bullshitter who's doing it's change on the outside, continuity on the inside. Change on the, just like with Barack Obama, right? Change on the outside, continuity. Hey, we got a black guy with a Muslim name who took Bush's wars and did them all on his timetable and then took us from 2 to 7 wars, made the Bush tax cuts permanent, didn't prosecute anybody for the war, didn't prosecute anybody for the crime, didn't prosecute anybody from Wall Street, kicked everybody out of their houses. Change on the outside, continuity on the inside. And that's exactly what this is. This isn't anything different. Trump's not doing anything different. The sales. So if you didn't like Barack Obama, then you probably don't like Donald Trump, unless you're doing mental gymnastics. And if you like Barack Obama and you don't like Donald Trump over this, you are doing mental gymnastics. These sales will support our allies, enhance Middle East stability, and help these nations to deter and defend themselves from the Islamic Republic of Iran. That's what the Pompeo said. That's what Pompeo said. So you happy now you voted for Trump? Getting more Middle East wars spread by Saudi Arabia. Normally, such sales are subject to congressional approval, but Trump is using a loophole in the Arms Export Control Act that allows him to bypass the process in case of an emergency. So it's an emergency that we have to sell these arms to Saudi Arabia. so they can go kill some more people in Yemen. That's what this is. But it's an emergency that they kill those people. The emergency is the human rights disaster that's happening in Yemen and at our behest. That's what's the emergency that we're causing. Yeah. The move is similar to Trump's declaration of a border emergency this year, which allowed him to divert military funds to pay for the border barriers. Trump recently vetoed legislation. Listen to this. Trump vetoed legislation that would have restricted American support for the Saudi-led coalition in Yemen. Trump's like, fuck, we're not stopping our warmongering. No way. Change on the outside, continuity on the inside. He's just like George Bush. He's just like Barack Obama. He's just like him. Isn't that something? Every bomb sold to Saudi Arabia is another bomb for Saudi bomber jets to drop on Yemeni hospitals, weddings, markets, and school buses. Representative Ro Khanna of California, an outspoken opponent of America's involvement in Yemen, said in a statement, well, good for Ro Khanna. So good for Ro Khanna. Boy, if he wasn't a Democrat, he could really fucking make a mark. But he is handcuffed inside that party. But good job, Ro, for getting it right and saying the right thing. So let's go back to so here is Elizabeth Warren came out. Now she's running for president. And she says, Congress voted to tell real Donald Trump to end the United States' complicity in Yemen's outgoing humanitarian crisis. His response, veto the resolution, then declare a fake emergency to keep selling weapons the Saudis will use to kill more civilians. It's revolting to suggest, this is Elizabeth Warren speaking, it's revolting to suggest that we need to help the Saudis kill civilians in order to stand up to Iran. First of all, it's revolting that you think we need to stand up to Iran. We already overthrew, you know the reason why they have Ayatollahs running their country? Because we overthrew their democratically elected government to begin with and installed a strong-arm dictator called the Shah. That's what we did. So why do we have to stand up to Iran? Which country has the most Jewish temples in it besides outside of Israel in the Middle East? Which country do you think? It's Iran. Isn't that something? Jews live peacefully in Iran, no problem. Isn't that something? So she says it's revolting to suggest that we need to help the Saudis kill civilians in order to stand up to Iran. Our only emergency is a president who cares more about making money for his defense contractor buddies than the democratic will of Congress or the moral catastrophe in Yemen. Well, someone beat me to it. Someone said to her, if you feel that way, then why did you vote to increase Trump's military budget? I'm waiting for an answer. There will never be an answer for this. Why? Because she's in the pocket of the military-industrial complex. She's an original Republican. That's hard for them to shake. That's hard for them to shake. I know people who are former Republicans, their knee-jerk in foreign policy is interventionism. It's revolting, she says. It's revolting. Really? It's a president who cares more about making money for his defense contractor buddies than the democratic will of Congress or the moral... Then why do you keep voting to give him more money for the defense, for bombs and war? Well, this guy who only cares about making money for his defense contractor buddies. Why do you keep voting to give him the money to give to his defense contractor buddies? It's because Elizabeth Warren is a little bit full of shit. That's why. And she reminds you every day what you hate about politicians. She's got some good progressive ideas, but she is a reminder of what people hate about politicians. Her fucking duplicitousness, her fucking hypocrisy that is blatant, her bullshit, her lack of courage to stand up for actual American Indians or Native Americans at Standing Rock, her silence on supporting Bernie Sanders. She's not a courageous leader. She's not a courageous leader. She likes the spotlight like everybody does. And she's got some good ideas, and she's got a lot of horrible ones too. And I don't think she's not the She's not what America needs. She's a pretender.
She's more of the same.
She's a pretender. And let's remember, Barack Obama administration arms sales offers to Saudi top $115 billion. There he is. Barack Obama's arms sales to Saudi, $115 billion. And here is from it's called ammo.com. Look at this headline. It says, an inconvenient truth, how the Obama administration became Earth's largest arms dealer. Earth's.
But we can't afford health care for everyone.
We can't afford health care for everyone. And she's upset. She's upset at him trying to help his defense contractors. Didn't say a goddamn word about Barack Obama. You know, Barack Obama ran out of bombs in Syria. They dropped so many bombs, the Air Force literally ran out of bombs. Now who's padding the checkbooks or the bank accounts of the defense contractors? Who was doing that? Oh, when Barack Obama did it, you were silent. You're moot. So that's the thing that I really can't stand about Elizabeth Warren is she's so bad at this. Maybe she doesn't care because she's not going for my vote, just like Hillary Clinton. Because anybody with two eyes and a breath can see through this bullshit. There was a time you were supposed to say something, Elizabeth. Now it's good too, but you're not the person. This is just drives me nuts. This drives me nuts. Then why did you vote to give him more money? The guy you say is a Russian, the guy you say is a traitor, the guy you say is working for Vladimir Putin. Hey, here's some $80 billion more. Go do some whatever you want with it. You're the commander-in-chief. Hey, that traitor guy, we just decided to give him $80 billion more. Now who's putting money into the checkbooks of defense contractors? Elizabeth Warren? So that, to me, that's the real story. We've always sold arms to Saudi Arabia. Now Elizabeth Warren pretends it's different. Holy F. And so, the silver lining of Trump is that people are now awake to the bullshit our government's doing. They weren't before. People didn't know Barack Obama built cages and put immigrants in it. People didn't know that. People didn't know Barack Obama was bombing the shit out of Muslim countries, which is why there were refugees at our airports. People didn't know that. They just know Trump banned the refugees. Then they're like, well, why are there refugees at the airport? Oh, I guess because Barack Obama bombed them. Yeah, that's right.
You
do a great Elizabeth Warren.
Oh, it's revolting to suggest that we need to help the Saudis, Jim. Don't get me started admonishing the banksters. Okay. I'm sitting here, obviously, we just were reflecting on Memorial Day on Monday, and I didn't think when I was growing up that my country would be constantly talking about war. I had no idea. I thought, we were supposed to learn from Vietnam. I thought we were supposed to learn from each of these wars that we were participating in, that we would not do any war. How many more wars do we have to be involved in this century alone?
No kidding. Well, at least two more, Iran and Venezuela, I guess. At least two more.
So I'm mostly depressed, so you have this, Elizabeth Warren is talking about, oh my God, how awful Trump is. And she's supporting every initiative that Trump wants.
I know.
What is she against? She certainly is not against war.
Hey, we just added St. Louis and Honolulu to our live tour schedule. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all the tickets for all our live shows. We might be coming to your town. Go check right now at jimmydorecomedy.com. And if you like the show and want to support it, become a premium member. You can become a patron or through PayPal, or go right to jimmydorecomedy.com and become a premium member. That's the best way. We'll see you at a live show.